So, Cancer, this is your turn. This is Tarot Lumination with your love and relationship report for October 2017 for you, Cancer. This is for significant relationships. A chosen relationship, okay? We're going to use a crucible spread on the understanding that there's you, Cancer, there's the other, and then there's the relationship itself, and the relationship has its own identity, structure, meaning, purpose, and all of that. No jumpers, no flyers, no oracles, no reversals, none of that. We're just keeping it simple. We're telling the story, trying to look at the energy, the heart energy at the very core of this, and see what happens. Read for your sun, moon, and rising. Did I say that already? I can't remember. Anyway, we're shuffling so that you can witness. Cards were already well shuffled in advance, but want to go right to the limit. We're going to cut in just a second. Here we go. Okay. So there we go. Let's try that, and then let's try a little bit of that. Okay. We're trusting that the angels are guiding us through all of this. All right, Cancer? So this would be your energy. All right? This would be the energy of a significant other, a chosen one, where it's chosen both ways. Both parties have chosen each other in this dynamic here. If it's singles, we're going to be doing on another playlist for singles later, okay? If you can just hang in, all right? So this would be going deeper into you, all right, Cancer, deeper into the other, and then going into the core, the relationship itself. Now you can probably see already, do you see this crucible here, this container? This is the structure of the relationship, and in a really healthy, loving relationship, both parties invest in the relationship itself as opposed to conducting themselves this way, and they build a relationship they raise the relationship like a child or a garden, and they invest and they put love into the relationship for the benefit of themselves and each other, their spiritual growth and happiness. So, and of course, with the crucible, it's supposed to withstand intense pressures that can happen inside a relationship as we intimate and we separate in the normal pattern of every relationship. So this would be the momentum here coming through October, and we're going to look at this card in a second. This would be the weather underneath, so to speak, that is permeating the whole situation here for you in October, all right? Okay, Cancer, let's have a look. Let's just get started, all right? King of Pentacles here. So in some way, Cancer, maybe you're feeling it in your environment, your surroundings. Maybe you're getting, let's say, really, really strong signals from events, circumstances, experiences, activities that are unfolding all around you in your whole world, not just the relationship, but your life, your world around you, which is giving you a strong indication that you're onto something. You're onto something of great significance that has great value and perhaps long-term legacy value, where you might be feeling as though you're coming into your stature, perhaps in a very, very long time coming, and maybe it's about time, and you're feeling it here in October. Wow, this is really possible. It's really possible for you Cancerians to get some stability and abundance and security in your life to the point where, like, you own it, and you become, let's say, valuable to yourself, valuable to others, valuable to the rest of the world, and you are a custodian of that value. You know, with like the King of Pentacles energy is very good with understanding the energy of manifestation and how things actually work in three-dimensional life, that it takes a lot of time and a lot of work to build up that much wealth and substance and let's say tangible assets and resources that are visible and have, let's say, value to the rest of the world around you, not just for yourself. This is not just about hoarding energy for you so that you can play Lord Midas and all that. It's about having dominion and strength that has great value for yourself and others, like in your kingdom, so to speak. If you're male or female, forget the gender. Let's just call it your dominion. Okay, let's have a look at you, Cancer. All right. Kaboom! So you're obviously going through some massive cataclysmic changes. Maybe it's because you're not used to this. You may have been feeling so disempowered and so struggling for so long, especially in the areas of relationships where you were ever wondering whether there was ever any glimmer or hope of having some kind of stability and abundance for the long term, where you could feel as though all your efforts and talents and strengths were put to good use after all. So that's good. Now, I don't see this as a scary card right now. I think the Tower here, to me, it's actually very encouraging. I feel like what might be happening for you, Cancer, is that everything that was fake and phony and bogus and painful and inappropriate and that just no longer worked in your life, no matter how much love and care and attention you put into it, it just failed and failed and failed over and over again to the point where, you know what, it literally the whole thing just falls apart. And then you're left with the gold. Okay, in other words, maybe you're at a point now in your life, not just your relationship, where a ton of rubble is just falling away, falling out of your life, in your world, to where you're just left with the gold. You're just getting more and more of the good stuff is coming to the surface, like the real Cancer energy, the gold, the strength, the value, the dignity, the self, the ability to manifest, the ability to create long-term legacy value for yourself and for others in your world, your dominion. And that might be a very weird process for you because you might not be used to it. The whole idea of actually being successful at something, that might be shocking to you. But it's also beautiful in some ways because I feel it's like you're coming into your true self here, while all the other stuff falls away. Anything that you don't need, let's say it's something to do with the eclipses from a few months ago, and you're right in it right now, and with the North Node Leo, uh, like sitting right in your like second house of money, money, and value and values, it could be it could make sense all of a sudden where, oh gosh, this does make sense. Everything that doesn't or didn't work is falling apart and falling aside anyway, because that would be natural for the eclipses. And then you start moving forward into what really works, what really has great value and substance over the long term. So in a way, this is kind of a very cathartic healing experience for you right now in October, especially when it comes to the relationship dynamics. Let's have a look at a significant other. Wow, well, maybe they're feeling it too. Maybe it's rubbing off a little bit where, let's say, they're sharing, it's almost, to me, this is very beautiful, Cancer. This is like, finally, this is very mature energy here in a significant other, where in your surroundings, the energy field in which you are swimming right now is indicating that you are coming into this strength and power and dominion, and that it was always deserved. And that is being very, very clearly noticed by a significant other, to the point where they are reflecting back to you an authentic perception, an authentic reflection that indicates that this is not just cuckoo land fantasy stuff for you, Cancer. This isn't just you wishing like, oh, well, I wish I could be all that. Wow. I wish I could do that, be that, worthy to someone, worthy to myself. Have those natural resources inside of Cancer uh, to be real. And the other party is saying, oh, yes, it's real. You don't have to worry, Cancer. Well, let's say I'm the other one. I'm saying, like, you don't have to worry, Cancer. I know you're going through. You don't have to worry, Cancer. I know you're going through an awful lot right now, and it's cataclysmic changes for you. But I just want to let you know, I think you are EFFING awesome, and I value you very highly. I value our love and relationship very highly. It has all the hallmarks of being the real deal. And you go, seriously? You can actually see that? You can smell that on me? You're saying that's for real? And they're saying, yes, Cancer, it's real. I know it. I can tell it. You don't have to look anywhere, ask anyone else. It's true. It's a fact. I can see it because I am not you, but I have enough love invested in you and us and our relationship that I'm just telling you as a fact. You're on the right path. You're showing all the hallmarks of someone who is bringing it home and making it happen in a way that really, really works, where we can even think of like home and family legacy value. Like if Cancer, you're in a situation where huge chunks of your life are just falling away, falling apart, and you starting to witness new horizons coming where you can see this chance of dominion, this chance of dignity, of sovereignty of self for you and for the relationship and for the other. So it's very, very much a mutually rewarding situation as a result of this cataclysmic healing circumstance that you're living through right now. So I feel this is very good news for you, Cancer. If you're relating someone who really can see that and perceive that in you, they really understand your true strength, your true value, how truly, let's just say, loaded you are. But it's in the things that really, really count. The love, in love is as love does, in that you're with a significant other here, dear Cancer, where you are going through a tremendous amount of, let's say, cathartic healing yourself. And in so doing, you're getting the reflection back from the significant other who says that I love you for who you are, not necessarily what you do or how much money you have. I love you because you're true, you're substantial, you're solid, your heart is in the right place. It's what counts for the long term, because when we go, when we leave this planet Earth, all we're going to take with us is the love we've sown, the love we've shared, the love we've received, and everything else shall fall to dirt and dust. And that's just fine. But it's legacy here. In other words, you can plan long term here, Cancer, because it looks like they're planning long term because they can see the long term prospects with you too. So that's, to me, it's beautiful. All right. I'm just letting you know that's how I feel about this Cancer right now. Let's have a look deep inside of you. Wow. Told you so. It's like, dang, I feel good. I'm not used to feeling this good. I'm not used to being appreciated in this way. I'm not used to being rewarded or acknowledged or valued in this way, either by my loved one, my loved ones, or by anyone or anything else in the whole world around me. This is freaking me out. And that's okay, Cancer. It's okay to do that. It's just because you might not be used to it. You might have been used to living in such, let's say, poverty of heart or hardship in such ways that it felt so grueling for so long that you wondered whether there would ever be any kind of turnaround. And you're starting to see a glimpse of it now, reflected back to you from a loving, significant other, where that can really boost your confidence to the point where their simple, straightforward, unambiguous love and appreciation of you in your true strength, your true values, triggers the sense of you being a winner from the inside out, which of course is only going to help to amplify the beauty of what's potentially happening here. And no matter what the rest of these cards say, I think things are changing for you in quite a big way, Cancer, that you might not be used to. And it might take quite a lot of getting used to. I'm going to come back to this again later, sorry. So it's a little bit disorienting, I have to say, because this is such a powerful card to come in for the you card, all right? And this is a huge card to come in for the significant other. Completely different energies, but somehow or other it's very beautiful, very harmonious. And this is the energy of love in terms of love is as love does. This is love expressed, love in action. This is not just fairy tales and poetry. This is the kind of love and loving relationship where there is a tremendous amount of self-respect from you to the other, from the other to you, where it's mutually supportive and fulfilling, And that can be very, very satisfying at the deep internal level, where you feel it in your body, your life in your bones, okay? It's not just a concept. You're not playing games or anything. It's the real deal. Let's have a look deep inside the other. Oh, however, with the other, it might indicate that in order for them to, let's say, participate in this thing, this wonderful situation, they are going through some kind of, this is a really big card to have in a relationship reading, as you can imagine, Cancer. So it might be very deeply buried inside of them, but they might be having to live with, you could either say the obvious thing, like a triangulated situation, where as much as they value you and the relationship and everything like that, it's actually very hard to activate the relationship because of a very awkward triangulated situation. It can also indicate that they are aware that they have, let's say, deep heart pain issues for whatever reason. That might not be anything to do with you. It might be deep inside of themselves that requires, let's just say, um, I don't want to say the word like third party intervention, but more like very, very, very careful advice and counsel about what to do about their situation, because there's obviously pain here. There's pain, and it's a question of identifying the pain. Why is the pain here? Where is it coming from? Is it in the context of this relationship? We don't know that. Is it deep inside of them? Perhaps they own a lot of deep heartache and pain that is almost nothing to do with you, Cancer, and yet it's deep inside of them in such a way that maybe it's not even any of your business. And sometimes that's okay. Like relationships are form and live and then die and fall apart. And sometimes we come into relationship dynamics where everything is good, but we all carry a legacy somewhere of a broken heart in our past, deep, deep down. And it's almost like we all fear that. It is the ultimate dread, the ultimate pain of broken heart, of betrayal, of deception, of uh, loss of innocence. But over here with the other, I don't see this as devastating for you or for the relationship. I see this as more of an internal energy for the significant other, because this is too solid. This is too real to be undermined in any way by this. But it might be that as an individual, as a person, dear Cancer, you might be relating with someone who really, truly adores you and loves you and appreciates you in this way. And you are almost shockingly turned on by this, to become aware that you are appreciated by this. But you also might have to understand and learn that you're dealing with someone and relating to someone who is carrying a lot of deep, deep pain in their heart for whatever reason. Okay, we don't have to name it or identify it at this point. Just say that the pain is there. They might not be expressing it very openly, because it feels to me, Cancer, that they're very much in a loving situation with you, and because of your own cathartic changes and healings that are going on here. And as much as they love you, and you love being adored and appreciated and finally valued in that way, it might be contingent on, let's just say, current situations that actually need healing, where your own cathartic, let's say, transformation that's going on here, your own cathartic experience coming through October is triggering their own cathartic experience deep down. It's just happening in a very different way for you, Cancer, as opposed to what's happening with them in their circumstances. But we still have the relationship. Let's look at the relationship itself. Okay. So with the Hermit here, in the relationship, the status of the relationship right now, if it can put you, let's just say, it leaves you, remember this is your reading, it's not a couple's reading. It's not like there's the two of you sitting across from Tarot Illumination asking questions, what are we going to do about our relationship? Da, 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 da. No, this is your reading for you, Cancer, about your significant relationship with a significant other. And in the context, the relationship here, it feels to me like you don't really have a choice as much as this is awesome and this is awesome. And I see this as very awesome. And this is very, very supportive. You don't have a choice right now here in October except to deal with the sense of, let's say, isolation and loneliness that is triggered by their own internal heartache and pain, their own suffering, because they might be dealing with issues that are nothing to do with you, and it's just their stuff, their issue, and it just leaves you in a relationship situation where, even though I feel that there's a lot of love between you, Cancer, and a significant other, in that you have a significant other who not only understands the cataclysmic things that you're living through, they think it's good for you and they think it's good for them. They feel all that. And that's very, very evident in a very, very, let's say, tangible ways externally. It's fully, openly, and lovingly expressed, even though there are buried issues inside of the significant other that are going to need healing and treating, but it's almost like it's their business. Okay, Cancer, it's their business, which leaves you a little bit isolated because it's almost like you can't do anything about that. It's almost like they're going to have to figure out some kind of self-healing program, and you can participate. But right now, you have a lot of work just to like reintegrate, recalibrate with you getting used to this, like this new way of being where you are deeply loved and appreciated by someone who is very valuable to you. Okay, I know it sounds strange the way I'm trying to describe it, but it needs to be understood. It needs to be like, let's just say, it's almost like you have to find a way to live through October, perhaps feeling very lonely and isolated from like the traditional ways that a relationship would be conducted, just in order to live through this experience, because this is going to change. Things are going to be different in November, all right? And for the time being, it's like the card is saying it's okay to feel alone right now. It's okay to be alone. It's okay to allow that you've got a lot of stuff going on inside of you that is a lot about really, really big changes. And you need to understand that fully inside of yourself, Cancer, as a person, because the relationship is, it's kind of putting you in a place of solitary, okay, solitude. And that's okay, because all relationships go through these cycles. We intimate, we separate, we intimate, and we separate. Okay, it's just that right now, here in October, this huge shift is happening. I'm going to have to put this other card up here. I don't see a way out of it right now, because otherwise I have to keep referring to it. But in the context of let's say, a long-term, healthy, loving relationship, there is a lot of intimacy and separation, intimate separation, where that's just what happens. We're human beings. You might fall asleep and cuddle up together, and then you spend the rest of the day apart doing what you do. But that doesn't mean the love is gone just because you've been physically separate for, 7, 8, or 12 hours or whatever. Or maybe there's a long time period between which you can intimate and separate, but then those periods are out of your control. So with a loving, caring relationship where there's a tremendous amount of like self-respect and value between themselves, the other, and yourself, we might go through a phase here where, even though there's a lot of love here and there's a lot of healing that's going on here, it might feel to you like physically as a being that you're going through a period of separation, of solitude, And they might need that themselves, because they might need to do a lot of deep soul searching in order to address this energy inside of themselves. And it's not like they are saying, I don't love you. They are saying, or they might not even be saying it openly. It just might be happening through circumstance. And they're taking advantage of it because of the stability and the strength of the relationship. They're allowing the energies of the broken heart to come to the surface so that they can be healed. But that, again, that could be their business, but it's happening in the context of your relationship with them. So you might feel solitude in the context of the relationship right now. So where does that take us? Let's have a look. Okay, well, it's almost like it's about time. With the Page of Swords here, to me it feels like this is really good news. This is like what needs to happen. This is what needed to happen. This stuff had to happen the way it's happening right now for the good of you, Cancer, and for the good of the significant other. So that, let's just say, let truth be told here, so that you become more aware of what's actually going on in the relationship, and how abundant and how valuable you are to yourself and to each other, how valuable, how much they value themselves and love themselves, and how much they have learned to love themselves by relating to you in such a profound way. And you have learned how to be appreciated and accept the appreciation and being valued in ways that are new to you too. This is really powerful energy to have over here with the significant other. And it gives them permission and liberty and freedom to allow this stuff to come to the surface that might have never happened before, because they feel safe in the relationship. They feel very highly valued, very highly appreciated. So it's safe for them to go through this process of, let's say, facing the issues of a broken heart. And that's what needs to happen. This is calling it out. This is the vigilante. This is the relationship calling out the truth of what's happening to both of you here, where it needed to be said. It needed to be done. It's like you're going through your own cataclysmic stuff over here. In some ways, it could be painful because of such big changes going on. And they're going through their own form of pain over here too. But it's good. This is really, really good. Both parties going deep within themselves in a state of deep personal solitude as they discover what they need to discover about themselves. And it's all happening in the safety and security of a really loving, solid relationship that almost can't go wrong. In other words, the truth shall set you free. Okay? I hope that makes sense, dear Cancer. Having truth revealed, let's just say, in the dynamics of this relationship, this splintering here, this cracking open of what's happening with you in your life, in your world, is really good news for you, Cancer, because it's allowing the real truth to come out that really needs to happen. Okay, it's, in a way, I feel this is very, very empowering for you, for a significant other, and very healing for you, and very potentially healing for them as well, because you've got the strength and security of a solid relationship behind you. Okay, you've got the backing of the universe, so to speak, letting you know it's okay to go this deep in the relationship. It's okay to allow these traumas and pains to come to the surface, to understand and bring light to them and call it out, like label it as this is the truth. The truth will set you free. It'll set you free. It'll set her free, him free, whoever it is, however it works out. Blessings to you, Cancer. Please make the best of it. Watch for your sun, moon, and rising, and reinterpret however you want to. Okay, I know you guys do that, and I'm happy that you do. Okay, so have a super October. It's not the beginning or the end of the world here. Don't worry about that, Cancer. We're just living through a period of time here, and everything will change. This too shall pass. All right. So all the best, Cancer. Bye bye.